So, herzlich willkommen auf der YuniCon. Jetzt geht's gleich los mit dem Q&A-Panel von unseren Cosplay-Gästen. Wir sind Lux und Pixel Cosplay und wir werden das Ganze für euch ein bisschen moderieren. Luis wird dann herumgehen und eure Fragen quasi aufnehmen. Und ja, die werden wir uns dann unseren Gästen stellen. Da das Ganze ja international ist und die meisten von unseren Gästen nicht Deutsch sprechen, wird das Ganze auf Englisch stattfinden, aber wir können das natürlich auch übersetzen, falls irgendwer Probleme mit Englisch hat. Gut, dann stellen wir mal als erstes unsere Cosplay-Gäste für euch vor. First of all, welcome on stage, Captain Ghostly Cosplay from Belgium. Achso, die sollten jetzt da wahrscheinlich. Next we have Slatkoslava from Russia. Welcome. Next we have Calypson Cosplay from Poland. Big applause. Next is Night Cold Creations from France. Then we have Shappy Workshop, also from Poland. We also have Evil Clever Dog from England. And last cosplay guest is Shiroku from Germany. But we also, we don't have just cosplay guests, but also photographers. Welcome on stage Creative Wolves from the Czech Republic. And So Say We All from England. So if you have any questions to our cosplay guests, please just raise your hand and we will come to you and yeah, they will answer your question. Anyone, any questions? If no one has, oh yeah, over there. Over there.
Is it annoying to put on the wig all the time or do your makeup? It's just, for me, it's pretty annoying.
So is it annoying for you to always put up on a wig and makeup and everything, or how do you do it?
Yes, of course. It's really hot, it's really hard. If the wig is really heavy, it goes down and back. Like, it's strange stuff, yes. Maybe you know better about wigs and makeup.
Actually, I will have tomorrow a wig and makeup. And when I do my makeup, you will see I use like some tape in the back to like give an instant facelift, you know? Like it pulls back. So first of all, it pulls back, so it hurts here. Then you have the wig on, so it hurts on your head, so everything hurts. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, personally, I try to use my real hair as much as possible for cosplay because I hate wearing wigs. But you can't argue that they generally will look better than real hair, so.
Thank you.
Thanks for your question. So yes, it is annoying to put on makeup and wigs for everyone. So yeah, everyone who had a cosplay on once probably knows. Any more questions? Otherwise, I will just ask you some questions. Is it your first time here in Vienna, and how are you enjoying YuniCon so far? Who wants to start?
Yeah, well, me? Okay. So, yeah, it's my first time here, and I really enjoy it. Because, for example, the show we had as a cosplay performance was really insane. For me, it's the first time I see this kind of performance in cosplay. For example, you take a microphone, you sing, you dance. Of course, we have a lot of dance, but singing and showing things like that, it's really raw in France, yeah. So I'm really glad to see that here.
Yes, this was the like Halloween-themed performance, so yeah.
This is actually, I think, my 6th or 7th time on a convention in Austria, and in Vienna, it is actually the first time. And so far, I really enjoy it because everyone is like so nice and is so familiar because the conventions in Germany are really, really huge and have more like a fair character. So we don't have like small rooms or like halls like this. It's just like more anonymous, and there were just not so many people who are approaching each other, and this is why I really, really like it, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, this is my first time in Austria. It's been good so far. We spent a lot of time in the Leopold Museum yesterday. Nice. But getting up at 5 a.m. for an 8 a.m. flight was not fun. So today is much better, and it's good to be amongst a lively audience full of questions and vim and vigor.
So it's like sixth time in Vienna for me. I enjoy all the VSS. The second time on YuniCon right now, and Vienna is great. I love always someone brings Almdudler to me, and that's always great. You have a lot of great cosplayers in Austria, and mostly in Vienna. There are so many people, and it's always great to go to Austria and take photos with Austrian cosplayers.
And you also have a photo booth here, right?
Yeah, I have a photo booth downstairs near the garage.
Yeah, it's like over there.
It's like
so
over
if
there,
you want to take photos,
yeah, if
talk
anyone
to those guys.
Yeah, it's free. Everyone asks, it's free. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's actually my first time in Vienna and actually also my first time being a cosplay guest at all. So thank you. And I'm having a great time. I really love Vienna. It's a beautiful city and I'm really excited to experience the rest of this convention because it seems really nice so far.
For me, it's my fourth time in Vienna, and every time when I'm coming here, I'm just so happy because like the people are so nice, the food is so lovely. Like I love schnitzel, schnitzel. I think mainly because the food reminds me my like traditional kitchen in my hometown in in Poland. So it's like everything I love. And also, like, the city is so nice, and, like, I love the architecture, the museums, and there's no a single year when I was here and I didn't come back home without Sacher Torte, so it's really important thing for me, and I love being here, so, yeah.
That's my first time in Vienna too. So I went here like a tourist for several times, and my first time as a cosplay guest. And it's really the big difference because you see the city and people from different sides, and it's really cool. And I want to go to walk in Vienna for my first time. It's a really great city and architecture. I love it so much. So
I have passed Vienna a lot of times to go to other countries, but it's the first time guesting in Vienna itself. And I know how Vienna looks, but like every time you visit, like you see something new, interesting. And I love it so much, and I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. So, did you already have some time to enjoy the city of Vienna and take some sightseeing? Not yet. Some of you. Okay, you will. Okay, good. As I heard, you already enjoyed your schnitzel, so that's a good start, I would say. Good. Next up, anyone has a question in between? Oh yeah, over there.
What is for you the most fun part about cosplay?
The most fun part of cosplay for everyone. Yes, let's just start over there.
For me, the most fun part is like actually like being totally different than what you usually are. I like the crafting as well, because I'm an armor maker mostly. Like the part of crafting everything is fun, and meeting the people. Like I think it's hard to say what's the most fun because almost everything is fun. Like it's really hard to answer this question because I enjoy almost every part. Like from seeing people, even the traveling. Like it's hard to find something that I don't enjoy. Maybe like strict deadlines. Those are like less fun because you're like crunching and working. But I think after you reach a deadline, like you have this feeling of, oof, I reached it, I'm fulfilled, I'm happy. And then you go to the next project or something. So what the most fun part is, I think meeting the people and hearing their stories, because if you see a costume, there's so much more than just the costume. There's a whole story behind it, why someone does this costume, how much work they put in. Like, it's the same as when you judge a contest, there's more than what you just can see.
Yes, I agree. So for me, as a makeup artist, my favorite part is putting makeup on and taking photos, but I don't like to retouch them and put on internet because for me, my work ended at the moment I switched off my camera. And I think the most fun part of cosplay is like reading. That seeing performances, going to the festivals and meet people because people are everything and hear their stories and their adventures with cosplays are great. And I met a lot of cool people in cosplay, which I'm friends with them. I think that's the main part.
Yeah, as mentioned before, my favorite part is meeting people and seeing friends again, and making new friends. Even though we are so different from each other, we have different works, different hobbies besides cosplay. Our lives are so different. We live in different countries. There's one thing that unites us, maybe also drinking, but this later. And it's really cool to see those people again and spend time with them, which I think normally wouldn't be so easy or even possible.
So, what is the funniest part in cosplay? I think it's kind of personal question also, because it's like being musician. You know, some people like to just compose music, and other one like to play on stage, and some of them, both of them. And I think that for cosplay, for me, it's just making the costume because I learn many tips, many things with time, and it's something I can use not only in cosplay, but also the social part is really important and really interesting because you have. For example, I'm from France. I have the opportunity to travel thanks to that and to meet people from many countries. So it's not something I will do without cosplay. To meet her too. so yes, at least I think it's really important just to enjoy first, and I think it depends on the person. I think you enjoy more on stage, as I saw. Yeah. So you see, for me it's like that. Yeah.
Okay, so to not repeat myself after whatever you guys said, because I actually agree with everything you guys said. So for me also, I really enjoy judging cosplay contests because I kind of learn so much from other people. You know, just looking at you guys, by looking at your costumes, how you act on stage, what is the style of performing in different countries. It's really, really interesting to me. So I really enjoy just traveling to different countries and seeing how different people do cosplay their way.
For me, obviously the social side of it is very important. Otherwise, I don't think I would keep coming back to it. But the thing that keeps me really interested in cosplay constantly is the ability to challenge myself on new builds. This is my most simple costume, and I normally do really complicated armor builds, and that's my favorite thing to do is just pick more and more ridiculous costumes and try to figure out ways to make them and kind of challenge myself to use new materials, new techniques, and just keep improving.
So in general, I enjoy a lot of things about cosplay, but what I really like is, I can become my favorite waifu and husbando, and who doesn't want to become their own favorite husbando and waifu? But also the social aspect is very important for me. So during WCS and ECG, I met so many talented cosplayers, and I don't even speak the same language as them, so we can only communicate like this. But still, they became a family, and wherever I travel and wherever I go to whatever convention, I can meet them again. And this is actually something I really enjoy because cosplay connects, and you have so much fun with your friends, and you just don't sit in front of a sofa and watch TV. I love this too, but you're productive, you do something together, and you have beautiful memories, and this is what I love about cosplay.
In general, just the creationism of cosplay, it's two-sided. So I'm a photographer, so for me, I'm here to find a nice location, find something that fits the background of the character, and create a picture which hopefully lasts and looks good. And then at the opposite side, I get to see the cosplayers who bring what they've made and what they've bought, made, however they've got it, what they're happy to wear and show off in front of my camera. So to me, it's like just a creation of art and some kind of emotion. I don't have many emotions, but some kind of emotion, you know.
Okay. I already have an answer for this, but it was censored by organization already, so you can ask for the true response after the Q&A. But anyway, I will. All guys here already say that. He said the same. I was thinking too, but. In the end, for me, the cosplay is about meeting a lot of weird people like Lisa, or Danny Lazy Silver over there, which in the end are quite nice and funny people, and you will like them in the end. So that's the cosplay for me.
Oh boy. Thank you so much, everyone. So yeah, cosplay is a really connecting hobby, also a really international hobby, and everyone seems to enjoy it, and yeah. Making lots of new friends. Anyone else has a question?
Thank you.
Yes.
How much money do you spend on your costumes and wigs usually?
Not a lot.
Probably question for our cosplayers.
It actually depends. I'm a lucky person who travels to Asia at least once a year, so my costumes are much, much cheaper when you would buy them in Europe, our fabrics and stuff. So it is between 20 euro to 100 euro for a normal cosplay, and for competition costumes about 250 to 300 euro.
Yeah, it really just depends on the costume and what type of costume, like whether it's a fabric costume or an armor-based costume or it involves prosthetics, like everything will be different. And I'm, again, like you, kind of lucky because I work in theatre and film, so I have a lot of materials left over from that I get to just keep, steal. And so I use whatever I can find, basically. So I don't know if I can really say, like, this costume cost this much money because I've probably used materials I bought for something else and had left over.
It's a very bad question, you know. You don't ask this to cosplayers. I'm actually trying not to keep count too much because I would feel bad, for example, if I spend too much. But of course, I don't really also keep myself on a low budget if I want to make a dream costume. So if I want to make something very special, I'm just making the money, you know. So I would say I'm actually very similar to Shiroko about the costume prices because we also have a quite cheap material in Poland, so it's not that bad.
I think that the most expensive thing it's really when you start cosplay, because most of the time you don't have the materials, you don't have the things to make it. And of course, after some years, you still have these things like the sending machine and everything. So you just buy what you need. So at least I think that my beard cost me more than my actual costume. So it's not really a problem. But yes, just beginning it's expensive and later you just use what you have, so a bit less, yeah.
I think it depends what kind of costume are you making and if you can use like materials from thrift shop, like secondhand, or if you have to buy everything, like for some armor costumes where you need to use a lot of like foam and thermoplastics and like they're really complicated big wigs and big weapons, so it can be up to a few hundreds euros, like. But it depends because if you will make this costume during 3 months, it's easier to spend like 500 euros during 3 months than buying everything like in one moment, right? So I think the time is an important factor here, but it can be a lot depending on the design.
Yes, I agree. And I will say it for the second time, because I'm a makeup artist, I'm not doing so much costumes, so I could do my stuff with like my face and wigs. But if I decide and like the character, I'm doing the costume. I think the several like cost of the one costume from 100 to 400 euros, I think. Yes.
Well, as you guessed, it depends on the costume because I have costumes that are more makeup based, and then you have to count the price of the makeup. And I come back to what he said. Like when you start, you don't have that much makeup, but like you buy makeup for a costume, but you can actually use that makeup for other costumes, so it goes on. And yeah, it really depends how detailed you go because there's armors where I use like molding and casting, where you put resin in a mold, and you have to pay the price to make the mold. You have to pay the price to cast the resin, and like it takes, I would say, somewhere between 100 and like 600, 700 euros.
So, and maybe we can ask our photographers, how much money do you spend on your equipment, actually?
Well, as a point, I think you don't need to spend a lot of money to get good photos, really. But spending money gives you the ability to expand what type of photos you can take. So, I mean, I was telling Lisa here, my carry-around bag is worth about 10 grand. It's all insured because one day I'm going to lose that and going to be equally sad. But I have friends who've spent a couple of hundred on a starter a camera, and they've got composition down in their head, they've got lighting down in their head, so they don't need to spend all this money. But I mean, what do you carry? What do you say is your rough costumation?
For me, I usually do bigger productions, so for me it's lighting, it's something that I need. But thanks God, I'm fortunate enough at this moment that I work with some companies in Czech Republic which borrow me a lot of stuff. So I don't have to spend money at this moment, but it's always a lot of money. But for me, it's the same. It's not about the most expensive camera. It's about the skill and about the head. And everything else, if you can pay it, if you can afford it, it will just help you to make it easier to get the right photo in the right moment. But first, you have to have it in your mind. And if you want to spend some money, every time spend it on lens first and then on camera. That's what I have to say.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Otherwise, another question for me. What do you enjoy cosplaying most? Like, do you like to sew more or armor crafting, cosplays from games, from animes? And for the photographers, what kind of cosplays do you like to take pictures of?
Well, for me, I started as an armor maker, and I have mostly armor still, but recently I really got into makeup. I like to find all techniques from different cultures, like the Korean culture is like a very good inspiration for makeup. So it changes, like sometimes I just want to craft the whole day, other days I just want to test makeups. I'm getting a little bit into sewing, but like that's definitely not my strong point.
Oh, okay. I'm a makeup artist. I'm doing makeup for the most time, and I like doing wig styles. Yes, that's my passion, and I'm doing all the photos of me by myself. So I'm doing photograph and retouch. So yes.
I would say sculpting in any form, if it's foam or thermoplastics, or recently I really got into 3D modeling. So like sculpting in program, it's also a great experience for me. It's something really inspiring, motivating for me.
And you don't like anime? Okay. So in general, it's more like making armors and my own design because, of course, I'm inspired by superhero character like warrior characters. But every time when I really like a character, I like to put my own design. So I will find something existing that exists, yeah, and I will maybe change some piece and make a more personal version. I think it's more like a fan art or something like that. And also about, of course, superhero character, bearded character, because I have no choice, a beard or helmet. That's the problem. And yes, I think that's all. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, actually, I really enjoy making wings in costume. It's not a very easy task because making wings is about construction and thinking how you can make them to be able to fold them, to storage them. It's a lot of stuff you have to think about, and also if you want to wear them at the convention, walk like a small crab. This is not fun. It's quite funny. So it's actually the best part for me because it's my most favorite part, but also it's very challenging and technical field. So, yeah.
For me, it's definitely foam armor crafting specifically. I just find that material really enjoyable to work with and find that it's very versatile. But I also really enjoy sculpting and mold making. Like at the moment, I'm working on the Winston mask from Watch Dogs Legion, so sculpting this like latex pig mask. And usually I gravitate towards characters that I like with designs that I like. I'm a costume designer myself, so I really appreciate great character design, and any badass woman wearing a really cool suit of armor is okay by me.
I love to do handwork like embroidery because I have to the left my cat and in front the television with animes, and then I can just embroider like thousands of hours just sitting lazily in my bed and like, life is good. And cat is next to me.
Okay, I'm mostly in the dark stuff, so I enjoy shooting things that... What? Yeah, that's your stuff. You can talk later about that. But I meant like Witcher or Star Wars, but with the Siths. I didn't hear anything about edgy Star Wars, but you can talk about it, definitely, Kieran. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I don't know it, but you sound really interested in this team, so.
I have both answers actually, because I've been a cosplay photographer for 6 years, and I've been a really terrible cosplayer for 16 years. Like half my life, I've been badly wearing cosplays. But it's okay. I found a camera, and that worked out pretty well.
I want to see pictures now.
Well, I'm literally wearing the boys' cosplay, but I took off all the makeup side. So the cosplay side, uniforms like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Battlestar, edgy. Never give me a microphone. But on the photography side, actually, I don't apocalyptic stuff and cyberpunk. I saw a cyberpunk person somewhere a minute ago, but just the actual aesthetic of it. So like on the cyberpunk side, Blade Runner and anything like that, and on Apocalyptica, like Fallout, or even just LARP. Like I really love that sort of style. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Any more questions from you guys? Yes.
Hello. Which message are you trying to spread through your cosplaying or through social media, for example, body positivity or anything like that, or just have fun cosplaying, or what is your message?
Sorry, Matthias, I'm going to go first here. For the cosplay photography side, I just want my photos to just be seen by everyone. I have no message, I just want them to last longer than I do. So as egotistical as that is, I just want them to be seen beyond me. And that's it.
Oh, I have to respond now too. Oh, it's a line. Okay. There's not much to the photography side of this. I think we are much less influencers than the usual cosplayers. But I like to, if I had one message to tell, I have to every story that I shoot, there is a darker story that I do shoot. So if anyone wants to shoot Zelda, my Zelda will be really depressive and dark and almost dead. So that's my message.
I'm a person who owns about 37 Nico Yazawa costumes, and I'm cosplaying Yui like every time I can. So my message I have is cosplay what you like, cosplay for yourself, and cosplay to have fun And maybe cosplay, for example, for your friends to have fun, but never cosplay for someone else or because you want to get clicks or likes or something. Because I think if you start to cosplay for something else than for yourself, you will lose motivation. I mean, it might be fine like the first 3-4 years, but the first time you fall down or something is not working as you hope for, you will lose motivation. And I think it's also the healthiest way to cosplay for yourself, what you like and what waifu you want to become. But that's another topic. but for me, it works actually really good. So do what you like and have fun, enjoy it with your friends. And this is actually what I think is the most important thing about cosplay.
Well, I don't know if anyone particularly cares about what message I have to spread, but I do, you know, through whatever social media platforms I have, I'll always like express my own ideals, and I guess within the cosplay community, like one of the things that keeps coming up for me is that I'm mixed race. I'm a person of color, and there are a lot of ways in which people of color are treated poorly within the cosplay community. So whenever I can, I try to speak out about that and speak out in support of people of color who maybe don't have the opportunity to do that. And, you know, speaking out against people who are like black-facing, brown-facing, or the fact that like people of color don't get to be photographed as often as white and light-skinned cosplayers and stuff like that. And just generally trying to help everyone stay like positive but also aware of the way in which they affect other people.
So for me, I'm basically trying to spread the positivity in cosplay community, especially in Poland. I'm one of the oldest right now in our community. I have 10 years this year of cosplaying. So I'm always trying to reach the younger generation and basically just try to give them the good ideas about being a good cosplayer. Overall, just don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick, come on. Yeah, just be nice to everyone. Try to be positive. Try to not be, you know, a douche after contest. Just be a nice person. Come on, and it will come back to you.
Of course, I agree with everything what says before. I would just want to add that that's something bad that you can change human nature. So of course you can do what you want. You will always have someone who tell you that it's bad, that it's not good, or something like that. But the most important is you just don't give a shit, because you do it for yourself. And of course you do this not for the other, but for your family. And cosplay is your family. And the one who don't want just to put inside this family just have to go away, in my opinion.
I think the message I would like to spread among people is that it's beautiful to have a hobby, any kind of a hobby, whenever it's like wig making, makeup, costume creation, or even like drawing, painting, digital art. It's just beautiful to have something except of like regular life, to have this activity which makes you calm, which helps you to relieve your stress. I think it's a very important factor, especially that nowadays the work and life in general can be really stressful, and it's nice to have those moments just for yourself and for your art. It's really important.
Yes, I like this idea, and my message is to be as free as you can, because our life gives us some standards for our behavior. You could put a mask, do the costume, put on makeup and wig, play some stuff you want, like being Harley Quinn for an hour, being crazy, and that's the play, that's not you, but you could put out all your emotions, and maybe it's like therapy for emotional health, like this. Thank you.
Of course, I agree with what is said, but I want to add, like, you can cosplay anything you want, even if it's like outside of your body shape, just go for it. And if you have a dream, don't give up on that dream. Never give up on a dream. People might say like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, be more normal, be more this, but it's your life, you decide. And if you have that dream and you stumble or you fall, you will get up again and you will get there in the end.
Thank you, everyone. Do we have any more questions from our audience? Otherwise, I will. Oh, yeah. No worries.
So ich nehmen? Okay. Hey, I just wanted to ask, how do you get to the point where you get invited to conventions or something like that? Because we are all cosplayers and we all started as dorks who wanted to try to dress up. So how do you get so popular?
Well, speaking as someone who has cosplay as a job even, for me it just started by a convention inviting me. And of course it's always for fun, but they just did the invite. I was like, oh, cool. And then I had my armor on there. And like other conventions owners were like, hey, this is pretty cool. Do you want to come with that armor to our convention as well? And after that you get better and better, you get more used to the guestings. Because the first time guesting, I was like at my table, I didn't have prints or anything. I didn't know anything. I was like, what? And then you learn bit by bit. But it's something that like comes, it's like a snowball falling from a hill. Like you start as a little snowball, but along the way you roll down, you gather more and more snow. It's not something that goes like from one day, bam, to the other day.
Yes, that's the thing you get with time. For me, it was a lot of time that passed for the time when I was invited to my first convention. So I was doing what I like, what I want, putting some stuff on internet, on Instagram, putting hashtags. I didn't have any like advertisements as fast. So how to be popular? I don't know. I think you should do what you like, and it will come to you. Yes.
I would say that being popular is a certain factor, but how to get at this point that you can say you're popular? It's hard to define, but for sure there are a few factors, and one of them is posting regularly on your social media and having your social media well managed, which you can do by reading some articles on the internet, how to do proper posts, and you need to have always some content for your social media. It's also important to make it understandable for everyone. So if you want to hit the international conventions, it's important to have your social media in English. I would say it's important to have this professional look at the conventions, which means that you're always in cosplay, you're on time, you always take care about how you interact with people, you're absolutely not rude. You need to be just very professional, and I think with time, if people decide that with this behavior you would be a nice guest, there might be a chance that some organizers will spot you and invite. So I think this is a simple and not really simple, but it's a way I can explain it in this reply. But yeah, social media and proper behavior.
So it's hard to add something at all of this, because I think we already... I think that's... You too, you have something more to reply to this question, or... You do? Okay, so I will just add one little thing. It's like, as she say, more being nice. Because of course, as I say, cosplay is a family. So you will meet a lot of people, a lot of time, in mainly at the beginning in your city, after in your country, and after away. Depends of how you move. But if you are always natural, nice, as you are, I think there is no reason why people would not like you. And it's like this, that they talk between them. You know, it's a family. In family, everybody talk about everybody. That's a fact. But like this, you will just be able to give a nice view of yourself, you know, of your comportment, of your costume also, because we need also to talk about the costume. It's important. More you do like original stuff or big stuff, or this is different kind of costume. Of course, you can do a big costume, original costume. But if you do something really typical, untypical, you have more chance also to not be invited, but have more visibility, I think, in my opinion.
So I believe, and I think girls will also agree, that we think that the value of cosplay contests must not be overlooked, because we believe that the cosplay contests, they can really show the craftsmanship you have, and no amount of likes can make up for good craftsmanship among other cosplayers. So if you have a chance to take part in international cosplay contests like ECG, EC, just go for it. Really go for it, because it's also a very good experience for you to learn how to basically take part, in rivalry among other cosplayers. But also you can learn so much from them, and basically just if you are lucky and talented to win, you can really get invited as just a judge for other cosplayers.
Just a quick question in between. I think you also have a cosplay contest panel on Sunday.
Yes,
so maybe if anyone has any questions about contest stuff, what will your panel be about?
So basically my panel will be about preparing to cosplay contests, what cosplay contest to pick from if you are a beginner or if you're thinking about something different, and basically how to talk to judges, so mostly like useful stuff, I hope.
So it's on Sunday at 2 p.m. if you have any contest questions.
So I think I'm a special case out of all these people here, because I got invited for the first conventions as a singer, because I'm working professionally as a singer, and the people just realized that I'm also doing cosplay, and after winning some contests, and especially ECG in the finals, they kind of realized that I might also be a good combination to have a concert and also to be a judge at conventions. So go for the contests. They're really fun. Lots of good and great people.
Hello. Don't be a photographer. Don't be a photographer if you want reach. Don't be a photographer if you want to be a guest anywhere in cosplay. Just don't. This is my first guest because I got to know some people and they were very kind about it, and they were like, yeah, you can come along if you want. And I was like, cool, cool, cool. And they were like, okay, but we'll invite you, it's fine. And I was like, I'm going to be a guest? Oh, boy. So I don't think I can really add much. But working with, in my head, just on the social side, it's just focus on what you enjoy and what you like, and that will show in your work, and then people will notice that, because if you're not doing what you like to do, then you will be doing stuff you don't like, and then people are like, what's this? Insert swear word. Then they're going to be like, this is not great. So what's the point of coming to you for influence and for potential if you're not showing what you actually excel in?
Yeah. I have realized what I want to say to this. For me as a photographer, it's about luck, because I already was a few times a guest. But honestly, it's mostly about that I can bring studio-grade equipment and do nice photos. So the conventions was like, oh, and you will do it for food. That's nice. Come, we will use you.
I do nice photos, thank you.
Yes, he does. Not only etchy, even dark photos.
But I think actually it's getting more and more common to also invite photographers to conventions, because actually, two specific photographers. So if anyone organizes a convention,
not us.
we can
I was
just
meaning other people, but whatever.
Totally recommend those two guys. No, but I think in general it's getting more and more popular to not only invite cosplay guests, but also photographers for all the cosplayers. So yes, I think that's about it. Has anyone else a really quick question? Otherwise, you sure can come to the booth of the cosplayers. It's right around the entrance, so you can't really miss them, and ask them some questions or whatever you want. But I think everyone gets hungry, so we gonna get something to eat for you now. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And big applause for our cosplay and photographer guests.